Hello, everyone. We're back. Seems like there's a new narrative out there. We're going to get ready to share that in just a second. Before we get started, as usual, like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out while we're continuing to grow. And you know we need the help. A brand new channel. Let's get going here. Come on. Now, the new narrative out there seems to be that Donald Trump is being compared to Hitler. Now, this is getting ridiculous. Absolutely ludicrous. I understand if you don't like the person. I understand a lot of things about how humanity likes to twist things, how especially the mainstream media is coming up with all these narratives and pushing it down people's necks until they start to believe it. Now, anybody that knows me personally has known that for years I've always said, if you say something enough times, you'll start to believe it. Well, here's the new narrative, and we're going to roll a clip real quick and get back, and we're going to talk to you about it and see what you think. All right?
All these indictments of Donald Trump, they're not working, and they are starting to panic on the left. Watching MSNBC, they know it. They have not been able to stop him. He's up in the polls, Donald Trump is, so they're resorting to just over-the-top, totally ludicrous rhetoric that nobody is buying, not even them.
It is easy to become desensitized to the litany of outrageous things that Donald Trump has said over the years. But there is a reason that historians are concerned about Mr. Trump's latest stump speech.
We pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country. The threat from outside forces is far less sinister, dangerous, and grave than the threat from within.
Calling your political opponents vermin and the threat from within, we've heard that before. In Mein Kampf, Adolf Hitler referred to Jews as vermin worthy of eradication, and Benito Mussolini would refer to his opponents as parasites and reptiles. So Donald Trump is following in some appalling and notorious footsteps of the most violent, dangerous men of the 20th century.
You see what's happening here, all right? Now, what did Mussolini say? Somebody was a reptile? I'm not proud of it, but at one point I did say, I take it back, that Mitch McConnell looked a little bit like a turtle. I did say that. That doesn't make me a monster, okay? I think half of all politicians are parasites, leeching and not producing anything. This is acceptable political speech, right? But they're trying to make him out to be Hitler. It is over the top, and no one's buying it. But it is amusing.
Did you hear what he had to say there at the very end? People aren't buying it. Unfortunately, people are buying it, and they've been buying it. When you go around, you ask people about Donald Trump, which I have, and you go around and ask them, and they say, oh, he's a racist. Oh, he's this, he's that. Where's the proof? Show me the proof. Don't show me what the mainstream media showed you. If you notice, that segment in there had a little blip when she showed Donald Trump talking. So she's going off of what you heard for 13 seconds. Then they had a little blip in there, and then you get to hear what he had to say over 9 seconds. When he gets up and talks to people, that's over 2 hours long. What did he actually say? See, that's the narrative that keeps going around these days that the mainstream media wants you to buy into, because their owners are being paid millions of dollars to make sure that the politicians that they want in line stay in line. Okay? You have a lot of people out there, we won't mention people like the minority leader Hakeem Jeffries, that continuously likes to trash on Republicans, saying this, that, and the other, especially about Mike Johnson being a Bible thumper. What's wrong with having a belief system? There's nothing wrong with having a belief system. Almost every religion in the world prays and worships the Heavenly Father. That's a whole nother topic we'll get to on another episode. Now, this narrative of Donald Trump being Hitler is absolutely ridiculous. Hitler was a tyrant. But one of the things that you need to understand about Hitler was the propaganda. See, if you go back in history, which they won't show you, Hitler wasn't a big man. He wasn't a strong man. And he knew in order to get a hold of Germany, he had to portray a strong man. So what did he do? He would sit there right before he would give his speeches. And if you watch, he would stand there silent. And he'd wait. And he'd wait, and people would start losing their patience. They're getting irritated, agitated. They're getting tired of waiting. And then all of a sudden, he starts spouting off at the neck of all this stuff. And he gets the adrenaline going, and everybody's hyped up. And yeah, we're going to take over the world. And they almost did. They almost did. But see, how do you compare that to Donald Trump? That doesn't make any sense. If you look at actually what Donald Trump did during his presidency, he really helped this country out a lot. And unfortunately, a lot of the things that he did, if you notice when Biden came in, Biden undid him immediately. Like the whole thing, they did away with the program that helped make sure that Chinese couldn't spy on Americans. But again, that's another segment. We'll get back into the Hitler part. If you think that Donald Trump is compared to Hitler, do us a favor. Put it in the comments. Let us know. But one of the things that we're asking is stop buying into all this mainstream media garbage. Stop looking at all this stuff that's coming out and start looking at the real truth of what the truths are. I hear people out there talking that Trump is out to destroy America and he's out to do this and he's out to do that. Really? Because it seems like the leftist narrative, when we had CHOP going on up in Seattle where they took over the police department, that was all Democratic. We had people when they were protesting over, the whole thing with George Floyd. When they got into all of that, they're looting from stores. What does that got to do with George Floyd's death? But then when you have people that are challenging this whole thing about Trump being some bad guy, and they go to these MAGA rallies, and they come back and they're shocked that the people are peaceful. Look at the actual January 6th footage. It's out there. It's available. Tell me where you see the people getting off the hook. Look especially at the clip where they show the tear gas being launched in there. At the people, they weren't getting off the chain. There's a few people hanging off the building, and I get that's not cool, but that doesn't merit tear gas, nor does it merit going after a person like Donald Trump and saying he's compared to Hitler. If you don't like the guy, just say you don't like the guy, but don't try to compare him to a monster. Again, let us know what you think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. We're really interested in hearing what you have to say. Comment. Anyway, we're done. You have a great night, day, wherever you're at. We love you all. Take care. We'll be back with another segment.